Did you know you could collect leftover money from a foreclosure tax sale? Yes, you heard that right. Now you might be wondering, what is foreclosure leftover money? Well, it's the surplus funds that remain after a foreclosure sale has paid off the outstanding debts. These funds often go unclaimed, lying dormant until the previous homeowner realizes they can claim it. But why is this important? Imagine having a chunk of money you didn't even know was yours. Sounds like a dream, right? But it's not. It's a reality that many homeowners have tapped into, turning their financial situations around. And the best part? You don't need to be a financial wizard to claim these funds. In today's digital age, even complex processes like these can be simplified with the help of technology, specifically artificial intelligence. Stay tuned to discover a simple step-by-step process to collect your rightful share. Foreclosure and tax sales can seem complicated, but they don't have to be. Let's start by unpacking these terms. Foreclosure is a legal process initiated by a lender when a homeowner fails to meet their mortgage obligations. This can occur due to a variety of reasons, such as job loss, medical emergencies, or financial mismanagement. The foreclosure process culminates in the home being sold at an auction. This is where tax sales come in. If the homeowner has unpaid property taxes, the local government has the right to sell the property to recover the unpaid taxes. This is done through a tax sale, which, like a foreclosure auction, is open to the public. Now here's where it gets interesting. Sometimes the property sells for more than what's owed in mortgage or tax debts. The excess amount is what we call leftover money, or overage. This money doesn't just disappear into thin air, it's held by the county until claimed by the rightful owner. But who is the rightful owner, you ask? In most cases, it's the former homeowner. That's right. Even after losing their home, they could still have some money waiting for them. However, there's a catch. This money doesn't wait forever. There's a time limit, typically ranging from 1 to 3 years, within which the former homeowner must claim these funds. After this period, the money often reverts to the county. Understanding the legal aspects of this process is crucial. Laws vary from state to state, and knowing your local regulations can make a significant difference. Some states allow third parties to claim these funds on behalf of the owner, opening up a business opportunity for savvy entrepreneurs. On the financial side, we're talking about a substantial sum. The average foreclosure surplus is around $5,000, but it can go much higher depending on the property's value and location. Now that we've laid the groundwork, let's dive into the process of collecting this leftover money. Remember, knowledge is power, and in this case, it could also mean money in your pocket. Collecting foreclosure leftover money may sound daunting, but it's simpler than you think. Begin by understanding what foreclosure leftover money is. In essence, it's the excess funds generated from a foreclosure tax sale. When a property is foreclosed for unpaid taxes, it often sells at auction for more than the outstanding tax debt. This excess is what we refer to as foreclosure leftover money or overage. Now that we've got the basics down, let's delve into the step-by-step process. Step 1. Identify foreclosure sales. The first thing you'll want to do is identify recent foreclosure sales in your area. You can typically find this information through your local county's tax collector or treasurer's office. Many counties even have this information available online, making the process even easier. Step 2. Research the properties. Once you've identified some recent sales, you'll want to research the properties. Find out how much they sold for, and compare that to the outstanding tax debt. This will give you an idea of whether there's any leftover money to be collected. Step 3. Determine the rightful claimant. This step involves identifying who has the right to claim the leftover money. Typically, this is the former homeowner, but it could also be a lien holder or another party with a legal interest in the property. Step 4. File a claim. After determining the rightful claimant, it's time to file a claim. This typically involves filling out a form provided by the county and providing proof of your claim. This might include things like a deed showing you were the former owner or documentation of a lien against the property. Step 5. Wait for approval. Once you've filed your claim, all that's left to do is wait. The county will review your claim, and if everything checks out, they'll issue you a check for the leftover money. This can take anywhere from a few weeks to several months, so be patient. Along the way, there are a few things to keep in mind. First, not all properties will have leftover money. If a property sold for exactly the amount of the tax debt, there won't be any excess to claim. Second, it's important to file your claim as soon as possible. Most counties have a deadline for claiming leftover money, and if you miss it, you could lose out. Lastly, while this process can be done on your own, it can sometimes be beneficial to seek help from a professional. There are companies that specialize in helping people claim foreclosure leftover money. They can handle the research and paperwork for you, and they'll typically work on a contingency basis, meaning they only get paid if you successfully recover money. Claiming foreclosure leftover money is an opportunity that many people overlook, but with a little bit of effort, it can be a great way to recover some or all of the equity you lost in a foreclosure. With these steps, you're well on your way to collecting your leftover money. Don't just take our word for it, hear from those who've successfully collected their leftover money. Let's start with the story of Jane, a single mother from Sacramento. After losing her home to foreclosure, Jane was left with a pile of debt and an uncertain future. But instead of letting despair take over, she decided to fight back. Using the steps we've just highlighted, Jane discovered there was over $20,000 in leftover money from the tax sale of her home. With this money, she was able to pay off her debts, and even had a little left over to start rebuilding her life. Next, we have Tom, a retiree from San Francisco. Tom had owned his home for over 30 years when a sudden health crisis led to its foreclosure. After recovering, Tom used the process we've outlined to find out that there was a whopping $35,000 left over from the sale of his home. This money served as a lifeline, allowing Tom to secure a new place to live and cover his healthcare expenses. Our third story is about Sarah and Mike, a young couple from San Diego. They had just started their family when they lost their home due to an unexpected job loss. After learning about foreclosure leftover money, they followed our guide and found out that there was $15,000 waiting for them. This money helped them find a new home and get back on their feet. And lastly, we have Paul, a veteran from Los Angeles. After serving his country, Paul struggled with the transition to civilian life, eventually leading to the foreclosure of his home. But, with the help of our guide, Paul discovered over $10,000 in leftover money from the tax sale of his home. This money helped Paul secure new housing and pursue an education to start a new career. Each of these individuals had a unique journey, but they all share a common thread. They used the process we've outlined to successfully collect their leftover money. Their stories highlight the transformative impact of this money, turning a difficult situation into an opportunity for a fresh start. Just imagine what you could do with your leftover money. Pay off your debts, secure new housing, invest in your future. The possibilities are endless. Remember, these aren't isolated cases. There are thousands of people out there, just like Jane, Tom, Sarah, Mike, and Paul, who have successfully claimed their leftover money. They took control of their situation, and so can you. These success stories show that with the right knowledge, anyone can collect their leftover money. Let's quickly recap what we've learned today. We started off by exploring the concept of foreclosure leftover money, a topic that might have been unfamiliar to many. This is essentially the surplus funds that are left over after a foreclosure tax sale, when a property is sold off to recoup unpaid taxes. We learned that these funds don't just disappear into thin air. Instead, they're often held by the county or other government entities, waiting to be claimed by the previous homeowners. That's right, if your property was sold in a tax sale, there might be money out there with your name on it. We then delved into the legal and financial aspects of foreclosure and tax sales, shedding light on a complex process that can seem daunting at first. We learned that each state has its own laws and regulations about how these sales are conducted and how the leftover funds are handled. But the real magic happened when we broke down the process of collecting this money into simple, easy-to-follow steps. We learned that it's not as complicated as you might think. It starts with researching whether you're eligible to claim these funds, which involves digging into public records and possibly consulting with a legal professional. Next, you have to file a claim with the appropriate government entity. This usually requires some paperwork, so it's important to be thorough and accurate. After your claim is submitted, there's a review process. If everything checks out, you'll receive your funds. And of course, we can't forget the inspiring real-life stories we shared. These tales of ordinary folks successfully claiming their foreclosure leftover funds serve as a testament to the fact that this process can be navigated successfully. So, what's next? Well, that's up to you. If you're a former homeowner who lost a property to a tax sale, it might be worth your while to investigate whether there are leftover funds waiting for you. Remember, there's no shame in claiming what's rightfully yours. And if you're not in this situation, but you know someone who is, don't hesitate to share this information with them. You might just help someone recover a significant amount of money that they didn't even know they were entitled to. And finally, don't forget that we're here to help. If you have questions or need further guidance, don't hesitate to reach out. We're dedicated to demystifying complex financial topics and helping people make the most of their money. So why wait? Start your journey to collect your foreclosure leftover money today. That's all for today's video. We hope you found it helpful. We've had a wonderful time guiding you through the process of collecting foreclosure leftover money. It's not every day that you uncover potential treasures like these in the labyrinth of legal and financial systems. If you've enjoyed our journey today and found value in it, show us some love. You can do so by hitting that like button and sharing this video with others who might benefit from this information. And of course, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to our channel. We have a treasure trove of informative content coming your way. We'd also love to hear your thoughts, questions, or experiences about this topic. So don't hesitate to drop a comment below. Your interaction fuels our motivation to bring more such valuable content to you. Remember, knowledge is power. Use it wisely. Until next time, take care.